Are you a closer, a salesperson, or both? Which one are you? Which one are you lacking? I have the answers for you. I'm going to break it down to you, the difference between being a salesperson and a closer. But here's the thing. You can't become a closer unless you are a phenomenal dynamic salesperson. So you could be a salesperson, a really good one, but you may not be a closer. So I'm going to explain both of them, and I'm going to share with you the difference between both, and then if you are both of them, then you will be in a different position. Now, before we dig into this topic, whatever platform you're watching this video, if you like the video, smash the like button, share your comments whether you agree or disagree. I want to read your feedback. If you're watching this on my channel, hit the subscription button below, smash the like button, definitely share your feedback whether you agree or disagree, and share this video with others. This is a very exciting video. Let's dig into this. Okay, now, a salesperson, it knows how to tell very powerful and engaging stories. They just do. They're like musicians. They know how to use words, make them pop, get you to feel a certain way. A salesperson gets the prospect comfortable to the point where they become almost friends, right? But there's a downside to that, which I will share with you in a minute. A salesperson knows how to set the tone for the selling process or throughout the selling process, okay? They know certain questions to ask so that they can get the prospect engaged in the story. Now, what happens is salesperson or salespeople sometimes, and the problem they have is they overtalk the sale too much. They like to hear themselves talk because they tell good stories, right? And then when they become friends with the prospect, they don't know how to get the sale. They don't know how to finish the selling process. So a salesperson basically sets the tone for the closing, right? It's the opening of the phone call, like for me. It's the initial part that's very important because you can't close a deal unless you know how to sell the deal from the opening of the phone call, whether it's a text, email, or a video call like on Zoom, however you do it, you have to set the tone as a salesperson. And here's what else I will share with you, entrepreneurs and small business owners. You are a salesperson. Whether you want to accept that or not, you have to accept that you are a salesperson. Why? Because if you have relationships and you're communicating with people on a daily basis, whether it's personal or business, you are a salesperson. A salesperson is a storyteller. It's a communicator. They build relationships. So why not become really dynamic? Salesperson as an entrepreneur and a business owner. Why not? You already are a salesperson. Why not take it to the next level? So a salesperson is very vital, and you cannot be a closer unless you are a salesperson. So again, a salesperson is a powerful storyteller. They know how to set the tone for the selling process because the end game is the sale, right? They know how to engage prospects emotionally, mentally, through different types of strategies. Again, what happens with salespeople is a lot of times they overtalk the sale when they should be closing, when they should be focusing and getting the order, getting the prospect to make the decision, getting the prospect to take ownership. That's what they should be doing. But that's what a closer does. So are you with me so far? That's what a salesperson is. I want to keep it simple so it could be effective, so you can accept that you are a salesperson. And if you haven't accepted that, you should think about it and then accept it. It's only going to change your game. So become a very dynamic, exciting salesperson. If you want to learn more about becoming a salesperson, visit my website at www.paulcruzsalesagency.com. Fill out the simple form. It's just an email. One of my representatives will follow up with you to schedule a one-on-one with me. And I promise you this, you will not be disappointed. It'll be the best email you'll ever send. Now, oh, by the way, I did a video 2 videos ago. What is sales and are you a salesperson? I encourage you to watch that video because I go deeper into a salesperson. Now, what's the difference between a salesperson and a closer? Here's what a closer is, and here's what a closer does. I call it the TAR, T-A-R. But before we get into the TAR, I just want to let you know that a closer is always in the grind. A closer produces sales. A closer solidifies the relationship. A closer never loses focus in the selling process to what the end game is. They just don't. And I'm going to explain to you how they do that. There's 3 characteristics, or 3 major characteristics. There's a lot of characteristics of a closer. But here's the thing. The salesperson or the selling is a mindset. The closing or the closer is an attitude. And here's what I mean by that. TAR, the first letter T, stands for transition. A closer knows and understands that there's always transitions throughout the whole selling process. From the minute you say hello to when you say goodbye and you get the order, there's transitions throughout the whole selling process. For example, when I cold call, there's 3 parts to my cold call. The opening, the body, and the close of the sale. Period. So I transition from the opening to the body, which is the storytelling, is still the salesperson mindset, and then to the close, which is fulfilling the emotion, fulfilling the climax. So a closer understands transition. Even when you get a question asked or you get an objection, your rebuttal is a transition. Because you have to address the objection. It may not even be a valid objection. It may just be a way for them to throw you off track. Or to get you to say something more so they can hang up on you. You have to understand, a closer understands that. So you have to know how to transition from being a salesperson, getting people excited and emotional, and over talking the sale and making it about you. You have to transition into making it about the prospect, even though you have to sell you. Does that make sense? You got to get and transition that the client or the prospect knows they need what you're offering. But you have to get them to want it. You have to get them to take ownership. That is the transition. How do you do a transition? Well, if you have a prospect, what I do, let's say I have a very methodical, analytical, non-emotional prospect, but during the selling process, I know at a certain time, at a certain point, I have to get them emotionally involved in it. Because people buy one or two ways. They either need something or they want. So I got to get them to want this because they need it. But they're very analytical, very methodical, non-emotional. I have to get them emotional. I have to get them excited. So I have to transition that. Does that make sense? That's what a closer does. A closer plays chess. The prospect plays checkers. Now, what else does a closer do? What else do they work through the whole selling process? What other characteristics do they have? They understand adjustments throughout the whole selling process. What do I mean by adjustments? You have to know the personality, the attitude, how they speak to you, their attitude towards you. You have to adjust to all of that. You have to know if they're BSing you or they have a legitimate question. You have to know if it's a buying question or is it an objection or is it a way that they're trying to waste your time and get you off the phone. But you have to do that skillfully without insulting them, but still being strong. You see, a closer is always in the grind. They know that's where the value is. They know when they get that deal, they've earned it. They've earned that relationship because a real closer is about relationships. Because relationship is where you make money. You don't make money with broke relationships, right? So a closer understands adjustments throughout the whole selling process. Okay. Now, the R is for resistance. What do I mean by resistance? I'm going to give you an analogy. It's a stock terminology that I use all the time. You have two tracks. You have the top track, which is called the resistance, and then the bottom track is called the support. So what happens is the prospect knows they want to do this. They know they need to buy this product. They know they need this service because it's going to help their business. But their pride, their ego, whatever it may be, is resisting it. They don't want to do it. They're scared to do it. So they come up with, I call weak excuses or weak reasoning why they don't want to do it. So I have to know how to get through that resistance. How do I get through that? How does real closers do? One, they anticipate it, they adjust to that, and then they push. You have to push through that. You can't be afraid to push. Salespeople that tell good stories and don't understand how to close, they're afraid to ask or demand the order because they became too friendly with the prospect. And I'm not saying don't be friendly with them or get them to like you, because at the end, they have to trust you, they have to respect you, and they have to see value in you. Why else would they want to do business with you? They have to know that you are the man for them. You are the person that's going to help their business, right? But you got to push through that. Now, let me tell you something. Successful people don't mind being pushed. They test you sometimes to see if you're strong, if you're going to stick to what you're good at. You know, you're going to follow through on that. There's nothing wrong with pushing. Pushing. Now, why am I bringing up pushing? So, because there's some coaches out there on social media that believe that's old. You should not be pushing the client or the prospect. You should be leading them. You know, I'm a very aggressive closer. I'm very assertive. And I'm never going to change that because I'm valuable and I get deals done. But I've learned to adjust and transition how to use my aggressiveness, my assertiveness with modern day technology. With the way the mindset of prospects are today, they're very sophisticated. They have access to information. But at the end of the day, we're human beings. We buy things till we want it or we need it. People still like interaction one-on-one. They like personal attention. But you can't be afraid to be assertive or aggressive. Top successful salespeople and entrepreneur business owners, they're the most aggressive people you'll ever meet. But they're smart. So a closer understands resistance and they push right through it. I don't let any prospect get away with weak excuses or weak reasoning why they're not going to buy from me. I just won't do it. I get them to take ownership, but I have to push. So you got to know how to push. You got to know how to get through that resistance level and get them aboard. And if you believe you have something of value, true value, that is in their best interest, you owe it to them to close the deal. You owe it to the prospect to push through that resistance. You have to do that, even if they don't buy. But you got a good pipeline lead. Because remember, they're going to remember you by your authenticity, your uniqueness, originality. And they're eventually going to buy. But you set the tone for that. Does that make sense? So in simple terms, that's what a closer is. That's what a closer does. They close the deal. They produce sales. But they cannot be a successful closer, or you can't be a successful closer unless you're a dynamic, phenomenal, effective salesperson that could tell powerful stories. They go hand in hand. Unfortunately, there's two parts to it. Sometimes one is better than the other, right? Does that make sense? So that's the difference between a salesperson and a closer. But again, I must repeat, you cannot be a closer unless you are a salesperson. So why not become a dynamic salesperson? Why not become a powerful, masterful, effective closer? Why not? Especially you entrepreneurs and small business owners. You owe it to your company. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to everybody you have relationships with. And then finally, I'll let you go with this. It's a real oxymoron. There's a lot of people that says, I don't like salespeople. I don't like to be sold, right? You ever heard that before? I hear it all the time, but I don't care. But how funny is it that those same people need salespeople to sell for them? Every business owner needs good salespeople that could close deals, right? Yeah, they don't like to be sold. Think about it. How crazy is that? Right? Anyway, guys, again, if you're watching this on my channel, you know what to do. Hit the subscription button below. Smash that like button. Also, share your feedback. Let me know whether you agree or disagree, whether you liked it or not. Just tell me what you think. And also share this video with others. If you're watching this on any of my other platforms, smash the like button, share your comments, and also share the video with others. Till we speak again, I say goodbye. Thank you for being part of the Paul Cruz Sales Agency, where sales do happen. And remember this, if you want to become a dynamic salesperson and transition into a powerful, effective closer, email me at www.paulcruzsalesagency.com. Just fill out the simple form below, and one of my representatives will reply to you within 24 hours to set up a one-on-one with me. Till we speak again, I say goodbye. Have a fantastic day. Take care.